I kind of keep harping on the fact that we can't count on 2026, you guys. We can't count on 2028. What do you think has happened? Well, before Trump, this racism had been brewing, and the misogyny and the push against woke, apparently, is that what it was? Caring about human rights, about not leaving any group behind, about not dehumanizing, otherizing them, because otherizing them is what allows atrocities to happen. In case anybody hasn't noticed, it kind of looks as if we've been captured and are being controlled by Israel. It's almost like found out that our real daddies were Netanyahu and Putin, and they can't get along, so they're sharing custody. That's what it seems like. They're sharing custody of the United States and using us and our military for their own purposes. One weekend it's Russia, one weekend doesn't end with Trump. It just doesn't end with him. And I think what comes after him is much, much worse, much, much darker. I think that our rights and our money, they're all being chipped away and stolen right now by Donald Trump. These power plays are to cover weakness. Didn't have to blow anything up yesterday in Venezuela. They must have arranged for him to surrender in advance. He spent 2 hours on the compound. No casualties on either side. That was an arrangement. So the shock and awe and the bombing in the middle of the night, that was the point. The thing that I hate the most about what we're going through in this timeline right now is that the United States seems to no longer stand for anything. We don't stand for free speech anymore. We definitely don't stand for human rights. We don't stand for civil rights. We don't stand up against racism, against misogyny, against any of it. None of it. People are trying to capture our power. You need to understand that. We all do. We have to be honest about what's coming next. You might not know this, but Bibi Netanyahu has been trying to talk America into going up against Iran since the 90s.
If not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months.
They have the wherewithal, the stored up, preserved knowledge to make a bomb very quickly if they wanted to do it.
Iran is so dangerous. Weeks away from having the fissile material for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
They're very close. They're 6 months away from being about 90% of having the enriched uranium for an atom bomb.
Iran is gearing up to produce 25 bombs, atomic bombs a year, 250 bombs in a decade.
Ladies and gentlemen, time is running out.
Iran will be capable of producing alone, without importing anything, nuclear bombs within 3 to 5 years.
And we have a whole bunch of Zionists on a media blitz tour in the United States right fucking now. They even invited Hillary Clinton along. Fuck you, Hillary. So their position is, it's so ridiculous. But when you have nothing left, that's what you try to convince people of, that they're not seeing what they're seeing, they don't hear what they hear, and they definitely don't believe what they believe.
I think, unfortunately, the very smart, bet that we made on Holocaust education to serve as anti-Semitism education, in this new media environment, I think that is beginning to break down a little bit. Because, Holocaust education is absolutely essential, but I think it may be confusing some of our young people about anti-Semitism because they learn about big, strong Nazis hurting weak, emaciated Jews. And they think, anti-Semitism is like anti-black racism, right? Powerful white people against powerless black people. So when on TikTok all day long they see powerful Israelis hurting weak, skinny Palestinians, it's not surprising that they think, I know, the lesson of the Holocaust is you fight Israel. You fight the big, powerful people hurting the weak people.
They need for us to think that genocide isn't all that bad.
Young kids are watching the carnage on TikTok, and you just can't have a conversation with them. You can't reason with them with all the facts and data we have because they've seen the carnage. But don't you have a problem with the carnage? Don't you have a problem with seeing little kids? Like I saw a video today on X actually of a group of little children in Gaza City specifically, who had just been killed. They're laying next to each other, their lifeless bodies. You see a video like that and you don't think to yourself, at least if you're a normal person, you don't think to yourself, oh no, these images of the carnage the Israeli Defense Forces have committed is bad because Not because it's inhumane, they rob these little children of their lives, but because, oh, it's gonna make it a lot harder for our Hasbara to get through to the young people, to the youths. She doesn't have a problem with the carnage itself. She has a problem with how the carnage, makes all us irrational people feel about the Israeli government.
And of course, you have to take over the media.
And I know it's difficult to hear, but it's time to limit the First Amendment in order to protect it, and quickly before it's too late.
What do you mean?
I mean that we need to control the platforms, all the social platforms. We need to stack rank the authenticity of every person that expresses themselves online and take control over what they are saying based on that ranking.
The government should control the social media.
Yeah, should do that.
Of course, there's a remolding and a reshaping of America's moral core right now. I think in this one clip at least, Bibi Netanyahu can say more about this than anybody else.
To get somebody to blow up a bus full of children or a building full of innocent civilians, you have to grind it into their minds. You have to wash their brains and tell them there is a higher cause out there. It's religious, ethnic, racial, whatever. And for that higher cause, you can disregard all the normal rules of morality.
I love you guys. Thanks for watching my videos.